Welcome back, trainers, and let's go ahead and talk about the Piplup Community Day and what you're going to kind of want to focus on. Honestly, I'm going to be going for those egg hatches because of that 1/4 distance. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be going over tips on how you should prepare, pretty much the typical thing for these egg hatch cut downs on how to prepare, as well as how well the Empoleon is going to be performing with Hydro Cannon. What a shocker, Hydro Cannon, right? I feel like they're going to come around next year and give a lot of the starters new moves. That's just my prediction. Anyways, getting into this is going to be going down January 19th at 11 p.m. till 2 p.m. in the Northern Hemisphere, your local time. Southern Hemisphere is going to be from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. your local time. 1/4 distance is going to be for those eggs. Make sure you do have all of your eggs hatched before the event does begin, because if you do have them incubated, you cannot start the event and then the distance is going to cut down. If you hold on to eggs without incubating them prior, then you could incubate them once the event does start, therefore getting the distance cut down. But if you go into the event with your eggs incubated, you're not going to get the distance cut, so make sure you're prepared, because that's a big part of this event. Empoleon itself, guys, do you really need to go hard on this? I'm going to tell you straight up, it's kind of a casual thing. If you're big into PvP, you may want to get out there and find yourself a good ideal PvP IV set, which is going to be pretty much 0 attack for Great League, around 15 defense and or 14 or 15 for the stamina. As far as Master League, well, you're going to want 100% IVs, as well as lower attack in the Ultra League. Hydro Cannon, okay, I mean, it's on all of the water type starters, and there is going to be better ones outperforming it, so you don't really need to be too concerned. That's just the way I feel about this, just being honest here. Now, taking a look at the distance cut, of course, I will have links in the description to the creator. And as we can see, 2 kilometer egg, 2 kilometers normally. The event is going to be 0.5. With the super incubator, it's going to be 0.33 kilometers to hatch. And then with the event plus super incubator for the 5 kilometers, it's going to be 0.83. That's pretty insane. And then 7 kilometers is going to be 1.17, and then for the 10 it's going to be 1.67. Wow, to hatch those eggs in the super incubator during this event. And then without them, they're still going to be hatching at a pretty fast rate. So if you don't have a bunch of super incubators, then just use regular incubators. But you're definitely going to want to hatch these, as well as put on a star piece when you're about to hatch them. Seeing that you're going to probably be catching Piplups continuously, just throw on a star piece. That is going to be quite a few, about 6 of those for 3 hours. So do what you got to do. Personally, for myself, I'm going to be running one the whole time, as well as live streaming it, so get ready for that. And I do have a little announcement, taking a look at how good Empoleon is going to be in the Great League. Yeah, you know, it's okay, right? I mean, it has a position. It has that steel type working for it with many resistances. It's going to be good up against a lot of heavy hitters here. This is just the open Great League. Going into Fusion, let's go ahead and see where it is going to be landing here as far as counters. Good against Alolan Marowak, Probopass, those fire types and ground types. So it does have a bit of a position, and it will be shaking things up. Going into the Ultra League here, it is going to be ranked pretty decently. It's going to be good against Cresselia, Mew, Togekiss, Charizard, and Jirachi. Poliwrath is going to be a good counter against it. Politoed, Meganium, Registeel, and Grass types. So it's going to be ranked 31. In the Master League, it's going to be ranked 57. Of course, Waterfall, Hydro Pump, Blizzard, and or Flash Cannon. Good against Togekiss, Lugia, Tyranitar, Mewtwo, and Mamoswine. Giratina Origin Form is going to be destroying it, as well as Poliwrath yet again. And it looks like Virizion too. And any sort of grass type, I would assume. Unless you had Blizzard and you were able to get it off, then that will be almost one-shotting those grass types. Let's go ahead and see where it's going to land as far as the overall water meta. Going up against raids, we have Kingler at the top, of course, as we all know, but it's going to have a very low TDO. Kyogre with its newly added Surf move sitting at 16.4, which is pretty good. TDO is going to be 610. DPS times TDO for the Kyogre is going to be 2,714. Not bad. That's extremely good. Crawdaunt, because of that Crab Hammer move, is very good. And then moving down to another Community Day Pokemon, it's going to be Swampert. I would say the king of the water type Community Day move. Pokemon, Water Gun, Hydro Cannon. DPS is going to be 15.6. TDO is going to be 494. DPS times TDO is going to be 1,871. Then moving past the Feraligatr into Empoleon with Waterfall and Hydro Cannon. DPS for that is going to be 15.1. TDO is going to be 447. And if you're confused on TDO and then DPS, what is the difference? TDO is total damage output. Basically, the defense, the stamina all put together, and the longevity. That's pretty much kind of it, basically. And then for the Empoleon, the DPS times TDO is going to be 1,549. So compared to Swampert, the most used, I would assume, Community Day Pokemon, which is great in PvP as well, compared to Empoleon, it's not looking too hot. You know, Swampert is still going to be looking really good, although Swampert is extremely weak to grass. Now, going up against rates, where does Empoleon land here? Well, let's take a look here. It's going to be ranked 16 going up against an Alolan Marowak. I'm going to have several kind of comparisons here, but it is going to not do so well as compared to other water type Pokemon. It is going to be falling down pretty far on the list here. It's not a horrible thing or anything, Empoleon with Hydro Cannon. It's just not your best option, and you shouldn't make multiple of them personally. Going up against our current legendary raid Heatran, with Empoleon here, it's going to take 31 of those with a time to win of 801 seconds. And then Feraligatr followed behind, Terrakion, Hariyama, Crawdon, and then Camerupt there. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be nice. Let's look at it this way. To have another unique water type, if that's your thing, if you like to have unique Pokemon of 6 on your team, Empoleon can make a nice addition to your water type teams. And it is a fantastic Pokemon with that steel typing. It's just, the attack isn't the best out there. Alright, now taking a look at going up against a Golem, which is going to be rock and ground, so it is going to be quite significantly weak to water moves. And Empoleon is going to be ranked a little bit better compared to the other ones at 8. It's going to take 13 of those with a time to win of 298 seconds. And it's going to be behind Tangrowth, Torterra, Feraligatr, which is another Community Day move, Roserade, which is an amazing grass type attacker, and then Kingler, as we've seen, the best water type attacker as far as DPS is concerned. It's not going to be able to stay in the fight as long, but it is still going to be a good option. It's going to take 15 Kinglers compared to Empoleon, which is going to take 13 of those. So you can see the differences here in the performance as far as Empoleon going up against, say, an Entei. Who knows when that's going to make a return? Just thought I'd throw in a legendary Pokemon. So taking a look, we have at number 5 Swampert doing work, and then Empoleon in the number 9 spot. So Swampert, it's going to take 20 of those with a time to win of 649, and then Empoleon with a time to win of 668. It's going to take 28 of those, so 8 extra Empoleons and a whole lot slower. Does that mean that Empoleon's horrible? I'm kind of making out to seem like that, huh? Not really. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's going to be performing good in PvP, right? Massive resistances. We'll look at all of those here in just a second. I really enjoy this Pokemon. I just want to make sure I give you decent advice so you don't make, you know, a whole bunch of these. If you have a whole bunch that are leveled up, then feel free, you know? But otherwise, you may want to hold off and invest in other Pokemon. So Empoleon's going to be a water and steel type, max CP 2,900 on the dot, attack 210, defense 187, and yes, the attack is going to be pretty good compared to other water type starters. It is, really. It's just the fact that waterfall, right? It's a good one. It's just not charging the energy as fast as other things can. And then looking at the weaknesses, it's going to be weak to electric, fighting, and ground. Resisting, here we go. Ice, poison, steel, bug, dragon, fairy, flying, normal, psychic, rock, and water. Is that good? Yes. That's very good. That is very, very good. So I can see this thing performing very well in the Ultra as well as Master League, helping Pokemon on your team resist, or at least the weaknesses that you have. Empoleon can come in and protect them. Say you have Fairy type, well, Empoleon can protect that against those poison types. So you have a dragon, well, Empoleon can protect that against those ice type Pokemon. So it's all about how you play the game. And then you can see the moves over here. Of course, it really depends on how you want to mix and match that combination. So I just thought I'd bring you guys this video before Community Day did start. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. And I really want to say thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.